I'm 5'10" and 242 pounds.
I always say this is the biggest I'm ever going to be, and I said that like 20 pounds ago.
A third of Americans are obese, another third is overweight.
Obesity is the biggest threat to the health, welfare, and future of this country.
I've always been overweight.
I've got diabetes.
Sleep apnea, heart disease.
Everything's hurting now.
It's a lot easier to lose weight than it is to keep weight off.
This is probably going to be the first generation of children who are going to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents.
18% of our children right now are obese.
It's not only health, it's about survival and well-being of the United States as a nation.
You don't crave broccoli, and our generation has grown up craving a Big Mac.
I want to think that there's something better for me.
Unless we're able to control this epidemic, we're going to have an abundance of chronic disease.
All of us have to be part of the solution to reduce obesity.
The weight of the nation is out of control, but we can fix that.
If we don't now take this as a really urgent national priority, we are all going to pay a really serious price.
Obesity will crush the United States in oblivion.
What is obesity? Obesity, or being overweight, pertains to having excess body fat threatening good health. Malnutrition can be both a leading factor and a consequence of obesity. Having poor nutrition or inadequate uptake, digestion, and absorption of food are all factors of malnutrition. Body mass index is a weight calculation in consideration of your height and gender. Body mass indexes, commonly known as BMIs, that are equal to or above 30 are considered obese. BMIs above 32 double a person's risk of death due to obesity. A person's muscle mass can alter a legit BMI, as muscle is heavier than body fat. This chart makes it easy for a person to identify whether they are underweight, normal, overweight, or obese in respect to their specific height. Being overweight simply means that the calories that you consume are higher than the calories that you burn. Genetics, behavioral factors, and environmental factors are leading causes of obesity. Genetics can simply put you at a higher risk of obesity, such as your rate of metabolism and the stimulated responses you have to certain tastes and smells of foods. Behavioral factors, such as how we spend our free time, our choice of diet, and lack of exercise. Environmental factors, such as your available diet, the cost, considering healthy food is usually more expensive, prepackaged or fast food for convenience at home, or just convenience on the road. Obesity is a term that can also identify ranges of weight that have been shown to increase the likelihood of diseases and other health problems. Such risks that can follow of someone being obese are diabetes, congestive heart failure, strokes, asthma, depression, and liver disease. Obesity percentages of children between all ages continues to rise. Fast food restaurants directly target children with their marketing, such as McDonald's Happy Meals and toys. But the children aren't the ones to put the blame on. Parents are the ones buying food at the grocery store and can easily say yes or no to an unhealthy item. Fast food prevents parents from making time-consuming dinners at home, but who is really at fault? Healthy and organic foods tend to be much more expensive than snack foods. Restaurants throw fries on a kid's meal rather than veggies or fruit. Our society is so hyped up about children obesity rates, yet are we taking measurable steps to prevent it? As there are risk factors for obese adults, there are risks for children too. Obese children are more likely to develop prediabetes or develop risk factors for cardiovascular disease. They can have bone and joint problems, suffer from sleep apnea, and they are at risk for social and psychological problems. Obese children are more likely to become an obese adult, eventually risking health problems such as heart disease and cancers. So how do we prevent obesity within the family? It is important to exercise daily and adopt healthier eating habits. Children usually follow their parents' footsteps, so setting healthy examples can only encourage healthy eating. The nutritional facts on the back of a food label should be taken advantage of. Make sure you aren't overeating and exceeding your calorie intake for the day. Change up your diet. We all have cravings, but after fighting the urge, eating healthier has its numerous advantages.
If we don't get a handle on this, what's going to happen is that we're going to get kids developing illnesses at a very early age.
Over the past decade, childhood cases of type 2 diabetes have increased tenfold because of rising rates of obesity.
The problem is that what kids see on television is almost all junk food. In fact, there's almost no nutritional food that's advertised on TV.
Obesity can be defined as a medical condition where there is so much excess fat in the human body that it has or will cause major health concerns. Obesity is the most prevalent and fatal disorder in our century. It currently affects over 1/3 of the adult population in the United States. Obesity is not just an individual issue, but it is a concern for the entire family. Obesity can be seen as a genetic issue due to metabolic levels, appetite sizes, and the way that the body stores and processes fat being hereditary. Environment and family lifestyle play a major role in obesity. Parents who overeat and refrain from exercise are more likely to pass those traits on to their children, especially if the parent and child have a close relationship. TV advertisements have been held responsible for advertising unhealthy foods, thus reeling children in and encouraging them to consume their damaging products.
Weight runs in families, but it's not just because of genetics. What we do together, how we spend our time together, what we eat, and organize ourselves as family matters. In the past 30 years, childhood obesity has more than doubled among children 2 to 5, tripled among youth ages 6 to 11, and more than tripled among adolescents 12 to 19. 17% of American children ages 2 to 19, or 1 in 6, are obese. 58% of children diagnosed with type 2 diabetes were obese. 22 million children around the world are classified as either overweight or obese. Overweight girls are more likely to quit school, live in poverty, and suffer unemployment as adults. There are several factors contributing to the cause of obesity. For example, adolescents, children, and adults tend to be heavier in families that frequently miss meals or spend several hours a day in front of the TV or video games. Parental obesity, socioeconomic status, parental education levels, birth weight and activity levels, and family genetic influence also influence obesity. Obesity is multidimensional and involves physical aspects such as genetics and metabolism, as well as psychological schemas and environmental conditions. Childhood obesity is a combination of family, social, and individual experiences that interact and impact one another. Environmental factors beyond child and adolescent control support an unhealthy lifestyle and foster inappropriate messages about food consumption and body image. Sociocultural factors such as ethnic identity may promote overeating. Food is everywhere, along with messages telling us to eat and drink, and going out to eat and carry out is easy. Food portions at restaurants and at home are bigger than they used to be, causing us to overeat.
Are you ready for this?
It's an exclusive look at MTV's newest documentary series, I Used to Be Fat.
The worst things that anybody's ever called me is whale and fat ass.
I'm ashamed I let myself get to 306 pounds.
I'm fat.
The boys at lunch asked me if I was pregnant.
It's so ugly. And I just want it gone.
Each episode follows a severely overweight teen from the last weeks of senior high to the beginning of college as they embark on a heartbreaking journey of drastic change.